Okay, welcome everyone back to another Footy Consultancy podcast. Today we have with us Leyton Orient midfielder Lauren Heria, who's a fellow co-host with us. How you doing, Lauren?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. We've just received news that the Women's Football Board have decided that to suspend the rest of the season for tiers 3 to 6 in the National League. I'm going to read out this official statement before we get going. It states, the Women's Football Board has made the following decisions, which are subject to approval by the FA Board and or FA Council as appropriate. The 2020-21 season for tiers 3 to 6 of the Women's Football Pyramid will be curtailed with immediate effect and declared incomplete, with no further league fixtures taking place this season. There will also be no promotion and relegation between these tiers for the 2021 season, including no promotion from tier 3 into tier 2 and no relegation from tier 6 into tier 7. A recommendation for an alternative club movement process is included below. At tier 7, county leagues will follow the guidance given to grassroots leagues, allowing them to make their own decision on the conclusion of the season. Following FA board approval to extend the season into June 2021. The promotion pool allowing club movement from tier 7 to tier 6 will remain active, with the deadline for application extended to the 1st of May 2021. All clubs seeking promotion will need to apply, with champion clubs no longer receiving automatic consideration. In addition, the deadline for clubs throughout the pyramid to apply for voluntary relegation will also be extended to the 1st of May 2021. So how does that make you feel that the season's been suspended?
Yeah, I think very frustrated. For me, I've played National League football. This is my second year of National League football. I was playing at a club in Leicester last season. So last season, the league was null and void, and this season it's the same result. So it's frustrating because it's 2 years of my playing career that, I've got the experience of playing on the pitch, but in terms of being able to point at that and evidence that and, live what sport's all about, the wins, the loss, that's been taken away. So it's very frustrating as a player. I wouldn't say I was surprised with the decision. I think within our team, we kind of expected that to come, and there were some leaks around the way that clubs had voted that suggested we might be in this position, but still to receive the news from the FA is very disheartening. And as a club now, we need to figure out, as a team, we're having a meeting tonight and we need to figure out, okay, how can we move on from this? We've still got FA Cup games to face. And we're gonna, if we do progress through them stages, we'll have a very intense few weeks of FA Cup matches, and then we won't have any competitive football until September. So it's how do we manage that as a club, is where we're at now.
I know you've been working really, really hard off the pitch and trying to stay fit and ready for the upcoming fixtures. How do you think that's going to affect your development? Because I know training is training, but when you get back on the pitch, it's different.
Yeah, since the last game, which was December for us, for National League, which was an FA Cup fixture as well, since that point, we've only been talking about our club as focusing on getting back on the pitch. Everything was about that. And of course, we love training, we love playing. So I'm enjoying doing the training, but there are times when motivation dips, and the thing that does motivate you is that knowledge that, okay, I'm working towards getting back on the pitch and competing. We're fortunate to have some FA Cup games to come back to, but even around that, there's challenges, because as I say, it progresses so quickly that if we do make our way to the third round, we'll be facing a WSL team within 2 weeks of returning to football, which does raise concerns around safety, to be honest, of being able to compete in that fixture if we are lucky enough to progress to it. So there's definitely challenges. And I think like I said, for players, it's just hard to almost plan your career, plan your route. And obviously in sport, there's so many uncertainties anyway, whether it's injury, whether it's not getting the opportunity, a try or whatever it may be, just this additional uncertainty of actually fixtures not continuing for, it's over 292 women's teams now that are now in a place where your season's over, and only 23 continuing within the Championship and Super League. So it's such a small portion of women's footballers in the UK that are able to continue playing, and so many of us left now with uncertainty and question marks on not only what does this season look like, but you mentioned there in the statement with regards to relegation and promotion, what does next season look like? So I do think the effects are going to be felt not only by players but by clubs for a few seasons to come.
I mean, for you personally, does it affect your motivation? You know, I mean, and do you think it would affect the players that are actually playing international football that are in the third tier? There's people, we spoke to Beth last week and she's playing for England, you know what I mean? And she's in the third tier, you know, and I'm pretty sure yourself, you look forward to playing against players of that level. Do you think it's going to discourage them further from playing at that level and move up?
Yeah, for me, it raises concerns around what the pathway is for young footballers in the UK. And we heard Beth speak last week so passionately about the FA National League and what it can offer in terms of level of play, but also the physicality of the league. And you know, that's someone that's playing at the highest level of youth football they can be. So to hear her speak so positively about National League, it reinforces everything I've felt playing in it and the potential you feel within the league. And obviously, you know, from conversations with me, the level of resourcing, albeit in the large part volunteer resource, but the large amount of resourcing going into the National League to allow the players to compete at the highest level they possibly can do. The resource going in around the venues we're playing in, the coaching we're receiving, the off the pitch support at Leyton Orient we're getting, sports psychology support we're getting, specialised S&C support. So we're building this really good package and this really good opportunity within the National League for players to compete at almost a semi-pro level. And I would like to see the league get to a place where players are paid to play, but that would be my vision for it. But not only have you got the semi-pro players, you've got these young players like Beth who are you know, striving to be a part of the Lioness setup and really gaining value from the league. But without the FA protecting the National League and investing in the National League, I don't really see where the future is for it in women's football at the moment. And that's a shame, because for me, when I started playing National League football 2 years ago, I massively believed in it. And you can see as a player the potential there. But it has got to the stage now where I'm kind of reflecting and just thinking, you know, is what I'm seeing, is it a little bit of style over substance? And are we putting all the stuff around it in terms of the stadium, in terms of the badges on the sleeves, in terms of the midweek fixtures, Bud Light fixtures, all of this stuff? We're putting all this around it, but we're not actually investing in the sport that's at the heart of it to create a sustainable pathway through from National League to Championship to Super League. I don't know, it's definitely left a lot of questions for me after the announcement and after experiencing 2 years of the stoppages.
No, it's a really interesting perspective, because you don't really hear the perspective of the players that often. So it's a good insight to hear what your thoughts and feelings are. And, you know, you mentioned that it doesn't only affect the player, you spoke about the physios, the analysts, the people that are involved off the pitch. And the FA today released their dual career guide. You know, do you think that it's something that can be implemented now with this potential, you know, loss of fixtures, or do you think it's something that specifically supports you?
Yes, I read through the dual career guide. I think the idea behind it is brilliant. As a young player, when I was like 14, 15, I was at the Charlton Academy, and we had a staff member who had previously coached out in America and kind of took it upon himself to advise us on next steps. Then from his experience, he put towards us, you know, you could look to go abroad and play go to America and play in this division, and kind of spoke about the women's soccer setup over there. but he didn't really give a lot of advice on the UK, and that was partly due to his experience and partly due to there actually wasn't that much in the UK to combine education with football at that time. So I think as a sector, it's come forward and there's a lot more opportunities for girls, for women to combine studying and working with their football. So I think it is going in the right direction. And I think it's definitely beneficial that the FA has released this guidance.
Yeah.
Reading it, I think for me, there's a question on how do they see this guidance being used in practice? Is it the expectation that a player will pick this up and use it to inform their choices? Or is it a parent? Or does that responsibility fall on the coaches and the staff members at the clubs? And I think probably the FA would say it's a combination of all of them.
Yeah.
But again, just looking at the women's structure with so many volunteer coaches, is that a fair expectation to put on them around providing this career advice and support as well? And against players and parents, is it in the most accessible format? So I think it's a step in the right direction, but I would like to see the FA go beyond and make this document a lot more accessible to the people it's supposed to be benefiting. And particularly, again, obviously I'll speak about National League because that's where I am. Looking at the National League, can they be offering seminars, forums to young players who are in the National League? And not only are they considering their football, but they're making life decisions around, is going to university right for me? Is going to college right for me? What is an apprenticeship? What does that look like? And girls in my team now who are at that age group will come to me for advice because they know I've gone through the higher education system here and I'm happy to provide that. But I wish there was more professional advice I could point them to help them out. So it's a step in the right direction, but I just hope the FA have more steps planned to drive that forward a bit more.
Well, it's good that you mentioned that because this is probably one of our aims at Footy Consultancy to fill that gap and offer that support at some stage. And I really, do hope that you can find a way of getting playing again. And I do wish you the best in the FA Cup. And hopefully I'll try and be there to support if there's fans allowed, that is.
Definitely, yeah.
And, thank you for your thoughts coming on, and I really appreciate the insight that you've given to everyone of what's going on currently. And if there is anybody else that wants to come on and express their views who it might directly affect, and, there's things that, Lauren may not have covered, you can come on and get in contact with us, email us at support@footyconsultancy.com, or leave a comment on our YouTube page, Footy Consultancy, and we'll be in contact with you and try and get you on the platform to express your views as well. Thanks a lot, Lauren, and I hope you have a good evening.
You too. Thanks, Sean.
All right, take care.
Yeah.